first ever call-in show. The phone lines are open. Second, while we get some people in here, hopefully. Supposed to go 5 to 10 minutes late, but doing this all on my own today. So we appreciate everybody coming out and listening. We got a big show going on today. We're going to cover some football, and then we'll later on the show transition into the big game tonight, 8 o'clock, Tennessee at Kentucky. Tennessee going for win number 20 in a row. But, phone lines are open, and we are going to get started here in just a few minutes. Had a little technical difficulties, so I'm sorry we was a little bit late. So big show coming to you guys today. We appreciate all of you all tuning in and listening. So Tennessee, big week in football. Tennessee put out their coaches, their duties and what they would be on the field. And Tennessee got new defensive coordinator this week. He's actually going to be the defense coordinator. Sounds like Pruitt's going to entrust Derek Ansley. He's going to be our defensive coordinator. He's going to be the one calling the plays, and I'm sure Pruitt will have all of his hands in that as well, which he respectively should, considering he's probably one of the best defensive coordinators in the nation. But go over the coaches and where they're going to be placed for the season, and their duties on the field this year. So, yeah, we got on defense, Derek Ansley, defensive coordinator, and he's also going to coach the secondaries. Kevin Scherer, inside linebackers, and he was the defensive coordinator last year. He's been moved to the special teams coordinator. Chris Rump is going to keep his duties at offensive or outside linebacker, and Tracy Rocker at defensive line. On Haney is the offensive coordinator, and Coach Pruitt says he will coach every position on the field. T. Martin, wide receiver, passing game coordinator, and he's also going to assume the role as assistant head coach. David Johnson will go to running backs, and Chris Winkie is going to move to quarterbacks. So, Ainsley's never coached defense, never been a defense coordinator. He's been a secondary coach the majority of his career, and he is a very good coach, very good secondary coach. I'm hoping that he will be a big time good defensive coordinator for the Vols. Tennessee's got one of the best coaching staffs assembled, not only in the SEC but in the nation. They are some good coaches on this staff, some of the best coaches we've had in a long time. So we get these guys all in tune, all in one, then maybe we can make some noise. Some other football notes. Oh, I didn't mention, I'm sorry, Brian Niedermeyer, coaching tight ends, and Will Friend, he's going to stay on the offensive line. Also on this coaching staff, we have 3 coaches on this coaching staff that's won Recruiter of the Year. They all finished number 1 in recruiting. So that's big time. So hopefully that'll help bring in some of those big time prospects. Also, I don't know if you guys seen on ESPN, they are ranking Tennessee number 15 in the nation. A team that finished 5-7 last year is going to be ranked projected wise 15 in the nation in football. They got 17 players returning, 12 back on offense, and that's an FBI ranking that ESPN puts out. And for you guys who don't know what the FPI is, and this is just me reading what the kind of definition is, give you guys an idea of what that actually means, is it's called Football Power Index. It's a predictive rating system developed by ESPN that measures team strength and uses it to forecast game and season results. Each team's FBI rating is composed of predictive offense, defense, and special teams value as measured by a function of expected points added. So, with the way we've recruited as far as being able to fill needs, on our team, especially at the offensive line. I think if you guys watch the recruiting video, you know how excited I am about the recruits and the players that we got at offensive line. Um, that ESPN thinks that we could maybe make a little bit of noise, and I have always said myself that we've got the playmakers. We just don't have no blockers. We don't have no big uglies. Now we do have some big uglies, at least on the offensive side. Still slim on that defensive line. Hopefully the kid they brought in from Michigan can help us there if he gets eligible. Got some JUCO guys coming in on defense. So we are very excited about the big uglies coming in Tennessee. Also, the spring game will be right around the corner as well. Spring practice is coming up very, very shortly. I mean, just a few, maybe about a month or so away. They'll be in pads. They'll be practicing. They'll be getting ready. Looks like we might have a caller here, so let's jump on and see if we can take this call here. This is Thomas, Tennessee Talk Show. You're live on Tennessee Talk. What's your name and where are you from? What's up? Hello? Hello? I can't really, maybe having a little bit of technical difficulties there. Whoever that was, if you want to call back, maybe we can try again, but don't know what happened there. But yeah, spring game's coming April 13th at 6 p.m. That'll be at Neyland Stadium. Hopefully, try to get out there and see what's happening on the football team as the spring game approaches. Yeah, so we are taking live calls. I'm sorry about who that was who called. If you want to call back, we'll get you back in. Tennessee Talk Show, this is Thomas. What's your name and who you're from? Where are you from? Hey, what do you want to talk about today?
Is it logical to honestly think that Tennessee should be ranked number 15 going into next season? I mean, realistically, that's not real logical. We can't be out here spreading false hope.
Well, I kind of agree with you there. You know, you're talking about a team that finished 5-7 last year, a loss to Vanderbilt and Missouri the last two games of the year, but they did beat two pretty good teams in Auburn and Kentucky, who was, they were both ranked in the top 25. So I think the idea that ESPN has is they are, they're thinking that if Tennessee can get on the right track, maybe get some of these freshmen going early, then there's a possibility that they can make some noise. Does that mean that they will make any noise? That's neither here nor there, but it is just a prediction, so.
I just don't think that's real logical.
I'm kind of on the fence. I mean,
I don't think that's real logical.
That's.
We were 5-7 last year. Bradley had 5 wins.
Do you think Pruitt?
We change the culture, yes. I think that we will. Our Coach Pruitt will. But it's a slow process. There's no way we can go and have a flip season like that for what we've got. We can make strides, but then within the coming years, with continuous great recruiting classes, I think, yes, we will continue to see those strides made. Ending next year at number 15, yes. Starting next season at 15, I think that's unrealistic. Like what you're doing, have fun.
Hey, you got a top 25, but a top 15 team. And that's hard to say if they will or won't. We all know that Tennessee's had a lot of problems the past decade or longer. Um, our best season coming under Butch Jones, probably had the most talented roster in SEC, and we still failed to reach the SEC championship game. Um, I still think there's a lot of talent on this team. We got a lot of good freshmen coming in. We filled a lot of our needs on especially the offensive line, but it's going to be tough. The SEC's no patty cake league. They are going to come at you every Saturday. We all know that, especially when you get against a team like Bama, Georgia, Florida. I mean, we play tough competition every week in the SEC. So to say that they are or not is neither here nor there, or do we know? We don't. It all depends on how these guys develop, I think, as freshmen. You got a player on this team that can come in on the offensive line like Trey Smith did and dominate. That would be a big question, because from day one, when Trey Smith stepped on the football field, he was a man among boys. He threw people like rag dolls all over the offensive line, and he was big time for us on that offensive line that year that he played his full season. We hope he gets better, because if we could add him back onto that offensive line, that would be huge. I mean, there's no doubt that Tennessee's recruited probably the best offensive line in the nation this year. But, I don't think personally that we can get to be number 15. I've got high hopes. You can see in my last video, I predicted Tennessee to win 10 games. I'm always going to pick Tennessee. I have a hard time picking against Tennessee, especially doing something like this. So I'm a homer. I'm not going to say, oh, Tennessee's going to lose to Mississippi State. No, I'm not. I just can't do it. But, if that did happen, then that would be great. I would be so excited. You guys would see me going crazy. But that is a prediction by ESPN, so, it's not my prediction. More football notes. I think that's all on football that we got today. So we are going to transition over into the basketball side of the show here. The Vols basketball team. I've got stats on both Tennessee and Kentucky here. I want to share with you guys. 2019 stats for Kentucky. They are 20-4. In the 20-4 record, 9-2 in the SEC. They have 78 points average per game, 66 opponent points they allow, 48% from field goal range, 39 rebounds per game average, 35% from three, 75% from free throw, 14 assists per game, 7 steals per game, and 5 blocks per game. So Kentucky does some good things there. They are very good at rebounding. Also pretty good at the free throw, on the free throw line. And we got another caller here, so let's take their call. Hey, this is Thomas. You're live on the Tennessee Talk Show. What's your name and where are you from?
This is Tim Goddard out of Prince Sheriff's Department.
How you doing, Tim Goddard?
Good.
What would you like to talk about today?
The president.
We're not talking about the president. talking about Tennessee sports, Tennessee basketball, Tennessee football. If you got a comment.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Well, always gonna have some guys that want to call in and make some jokes. So that's cool. We like that. Well, we don't talk about the president. We're talking about basketball and football, mostly basketball right now. But yeah, Kentucky, they're not that good from the 3 point. They're 35%, which I guess is okay. They do take and shoot a lot of 3 pointers. Um, they do have some good players. They got a guy on the Naismith Smith Watch Awards. But the Vols, they have a 23-1 record. They're 11-0 in the SEC. 85 points per game. 68 opponent points per game. 52% from field goal range. 38 rebounds per game. They're 37% from 3-point range. They're 33% on the opponent 3-point for letting opponents do their 3-pointers. Sorry, the calls and me speaking got me a little bit messed up. But 77% from free throws. Average points per game 20. I'm sorry, assists per game is 20, steals per game 6, and 6 blocks per game. So we all know what the Vols can do. I just think Tennessee today, we've got to win the paint. Grant Williams, Kyle Alexander, they really got to get dirty inside that paint. I think we need a huge game from Alexander. Hopefully he'll be ready to play, which he usually is. Keep him out of free throw or foul trouble. I really think that if we can control the paint and guard the three, keep them from putting up and scoring threes, then we can have a very good chance to win this game. It's going to be a tough game. It's in Rupp Arena. So we got a call coming in. We're going to take this call. This is Thomas. You're on the Tennessee Talk Show. What's your name and where are you from? Oh, lost the call. Got another caller here. This is Thomas on the Tennessee Talk Show. What's your name and where are you from? What's going on, man? How are you doing? What do you like to talk about today? Well, what do you think?
Is this the best Tennessee basketball team ever? I mean, I don't know.
I think if you look at everything that this team's done, they've won 19 games in a row. They play well as a team. They've got 5 guys averaging double figures of points. The way they share the ball, rebound the ball, they play good defense. This could definitely be one of the best basketball teams ever that come through Tennessee.
Is it the best team ever? Is it too early to say, or are you already ready to ground to be the king? That's all I'm asking. Down here in Sweetwater, we got a pretty good boys basketball team, you see, and we don't want to do the championship. We done beat Loud, yeah, we done beat the Coy, yeah. And what are you doing there, big boy? You
I think this could be one of the best basketball teams ever. Now, if they go on to win the SEC championship and national championship, this is definitely the best basketball team that's ever came through Tennessee. But I wasn't old enough to see Bernard King play and some of those other guys, good basketball teams back in the '70s when they were playing. So
Yeah, they did Quanzo wrong, big boy. Yeah, we're not pretty good team there with us. I just can't do it. It's too hard to do that, big boy.
Tennessee, when they had Quanzo Martin, they were a good basketball team as well. They started that season pretty rough at first, and turned it on late in the season. Got into
But he was pretty damn good.
he was a pretty good coach, and in my opinion, they did do Quanzo Martin pretty wrong. I kind of agree with that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go on.
Go Vols. You got a prediction for today's game? No prediction from him. But yeah, he was asking if this is the best Tennessee basketball team ever to come through Knoxville, and the best basketball team that I've ever seen is definitely the 2019 Tennessee Volunteers basketball team. He had some comments about Quanzo Martin and his team. That team started out very sluggish, in my opinion. The first of the year. Turned it on late in the season. Got lucky, got in the tournament. They were on the bubble that year, if I do remember correctly. Made a deep run inside the tournament. Josh Smith, I think that was his name, really carried that team. But yeah, I do think this is probably one of the best basketball teams to ever come through Knoxville. And if they go on to win the SEC championship, if they make a deep run, the Final Four, they win the national championship, I'm definitely going to say this is the best basketball team to ever come through Knoxville. I mean, they're exciting to watch. They share the ball great. They play good defense. Grant Williams, he's a great leader. He really, I think, gets that team fired up. I think he's probably the mesh of the team. Without Grant being there, I don't know if we have as good as a team. Schofield's good too, but I really think Grant's probably the heart of the team. But Tennessee, yeah, they're going to take on Kentucky today. They're going for win number 20. And the Tennessee Talk keys to the game today, I've already mentioned one of them, is controlling the paint. I think we gotta have a big game by Kyle Alexander. He's got to be able to control that paint, lock down anything that comes in there. Keep Grant Williams and Kyle Alexander both out of free throw or out of foul trouble. Keep the pressure on the three ball. Don't let them get up no threes, no easy shots. I really want to see a good lockdown defensive game by the Vols. They played good defense all year. I don't think we'll see a let up in that, but I'd like to see them play a little bit better game on defense today. Get a couple big steals, get that ball out in transition, get some easy buckets. Lockdown Washington. He is the best player on Kentucky's team. He's the one that's up for the Naismith Smith Trophy. He's had 6 out of the last 7 games. He's had 20 points. I read an article last night where Calipari said that he'd like to see his rebounds get up a little bit more. That his rebounds is slumped down a little bit, and but not today, Washington. Not today. We're going to control that paint. We're going to get all the rebounds. We're going to get all the loose buckets. We're going to play dirty. A lot of people were saying that Tennessee's going to lose today, I think. A lot of people believe that they've been on a 19-game winning streak, that Kentucky's going to be the one to knock them off, but I don't see it, guys. Tennessee is they're a tough team. They've been the underdog. They know what it's like to be the underdog. They were terrible, just 2 years ago. If you think about it, they weren't that good. And Grant and Schofield were both on that team. So they've done a lot of good things. None of the guys on our team are McDonald's All-Americans. They are not one of them ranked inside the top 100 as far as being recruited out of high school. So Rick Barnes has built this team from scratch. He's made and helped develop these players to what they are today. So they're really special. They're really fun to watch. They share the ball good. They play good defense. They rebound well. So I think Tennessee will go down to Rupp today with a chip on their shoulder. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're not going to beat Kentucky in Rupp. It's your time to lose." But I think the players, they hear that stuff. They're going to know. They're going to go down there. They're going to be ready to play. We might even see one of the best games that they've played this year. This is the biggest game, in my opinion, of the year. It's bigger than Kansas. It's bigger than Gonzaga. Both of those teams were ranked number one when we played them, but this is right here. This is a big game. This is going to be a true testament to show you what kind of heart Tennessee's got, what kind of team they really are. I think they'll show you how tough they are. They're going to show you why they're the best team, number one team in the nation, and I think we're going to win. My prediction for the game today is 89-81, Tennessee. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game, but Tennessee's going to pull it out in the end, and that's my prediction for the day on the game. Right now, if you guys want to call in, we've had a couple calls. We appreciate you guys calling in. If you guys want to call in, the number is 865-800-8939. That's 865-800-8939. Call in, give your prediction. Tell us what you think is going to happen tonight. I want to shout out to our new subscribers: Teresa Mitchell, Hardball 24/7, Victor Madrano, Jay Brackens 99, Tiffany Davis, Vol for Life. And if you are subscribed to the channel, if I've not gave you a shout out, please leave me a comment. YouTube don't always tell me who's subscribed. I know that there's other subscribers on there that I haven't shouted out, but I don't know who you are because they don't tell me who you are. So if you want, please leave a comment, tell me who you are. Got a call coming in. This is Thomas. You're on the Tennessee Talk Show. What's your name and where are you from?
Yeah, this is Ricky Love from down here on 508 Prairie Street. How you doing there, sir?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Hello?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm listening to your show here, and we got a broadcast. Giving Thomas Davis a major shout out. Major shout out to Thomas Davis. There you go, bud. But yes, there was a named Josh Smith on the Quanzo Martin teams. There's a guy by the name of Josh Richardson who's playing in the professional NBA professional basketball league.
Yeah, that's
pretty
right.
damn good, and he's making a living in the NBA. Just like, you got Tobias Harris. He played under Quanzo Martin. You've got Jordan McRae, who played with your fair nemesis LeBron James and won an NBA championship. So, it's hard for me to really fathom that where you hear you say that they got lucky to getting to the tournament. They beat a team by about 15 points to get into the tournament, and then they went on a run in the tournament and took over the tournament. I don't really call it luck. I just call it that that's just how the game plays. They won the game. So I don't really think it's really a luck thing come to it. I think that they had great NBA prospects on that team that people fail to remember. I think you're really being a prisoner of the moment and trying to crown them right now. We haven't got into a tournament at all. I'd like to see how deep they run before I crown them. Don't crown them yet, but don't be prisoner of the moment and say that they're the best, because they're not the best yet. There's a lot to be proven, and a lot of that starts tonight. So just wait on it. Don't do that yet, because I hate for you to have a bad taste in your mouth on your TV show. Have a good day. Go Vols.
Well, nobody ever crowned them as the best yet, but I did say that they are one of the best. They've definitely played very, very well thus far, and you're right. There's not been a tournament yet, and I appreciate the caller reminding me of Josh's last name, Josh Richardson, not Josh Smith. That was my bad. Sorry, guys. But and Tobias Harris was on that team, but he was recruited actually by Bruce Pearl. So just to let our caller know. But yeah, you know, actually, you know what? I don't think Tobias Harris was on that team. That team was lonely led by actually Josh Richardson. Tobias Harris went to the NBA before that. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but somebody can call in and correct me again if they'd like. I'm sure I'll get another call from Ricky Love letting me know what I should and should not be doing. But anyway, my point was to that is that basketball team by Conzo Martin, they were a good team. I liked Conzo. He was a good coach. He had a style of play that was a little different than the past few coaches that we've had and the current one that we have now. But I do think, that team started out, they didn't really know who they were at the beginning of the year. And it took a lot of hard work, I guess I should say. What I should have said is it took a lot of hard work to get them in on the bubble. They were on the bubble for that season. They did make it in. They made it to the Elite Eight. Very special to watch. It was a very fun end of the season for that team. You can't say that this is the best team or isn't the best team yet, because he's right. They haven't went to a tournament yet. They haven't. They played some good competition, but we haven't played any games that actually, I guess, mean a lot yet. We're not playing for a championship in the SEC yet. We're not playing for an NCAA championship. So, but I do think that this is a very unselfish team. They play together. They're good at playing together. They're good. They're very good at rebounding. Very good at shooting, scoring. So there's a lot to be said about this team thus far with the way they've played, and they've beat a few good teams. I mean, they beat Gonzaga at number one. That's probably going to be a number one seed, at least a number two seed in the SEC or in the tournament come March. With that being said, I still think this team is probably better than that team, just in my opinion. Of course, that's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So, we appreciate you guys listening today. If you guys want to call in, feel free to give us a call. We're going to run the show about just a few more minutes here, see if we can get some callers. Phone number is 865-800-8939, Tennessee Talk. Call in live. Give us something to talk about. Give us something to share, predict. Give us a prediction on the game tonight. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Tennessee can win tonight in Rupp? It's going to be loud. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a tough game. Biggest game of the year, in my opinion, thus far for the Vols. Going for win number 20 in a row tonight. Tennessee has to control the paint. They have to play hard tonight. control that paint, keep the threes down, make sure they're guarding that three. So we appreciate you guys listening in. This is Tennessee Talk, and we're out. Peace.